Welcome back YouTube, you have Ahmed again from In-Depth Tech Reviews, and it's been a long time since my last video, and the reason for this delay, I was revamping my home YouTube studio, and I will create a separate video to share my experience with you that might be beneficial in case if you are planning to create your own YouTube channel. In today's video, I'm going to talk about my wish list for the stock Android Q. I have been a Pixel user since the release of the Pixel 2 XL, and I do really enjoy the experience I'm getting from stock Android. However, there are things that Google needs to work on to improve the user experience, in my opinion. But before getting started, let's make sure to subscribe and hit the bell icon to get notified every time I post a new video. So let's jump in. The first thing I want to talk about here is the RAM management. Since I bought my Pixel 2 XL, I noticed it cannot handle more than 2 or 3 games to be active in the background. And everybody linked this issue to the small amount of RAM the Pixel devices have. But I don't think so. If you look at iOS devices, you will notice they only have 2, 3, or maximum 4 GB of RAM, and they are able to keep a lot of apps running in the background without any issues. In contrast, Android flagships have maybe 6, 8, or 12 GB of RAM to be able to give you the same experience you are getting with iOS. So that proves it's not about the small amount of RAM the Pixel devices have, but it's because of the poor RAM management of Android. And I think Google needs to work on this as soon as possible because it will be very beneficial for cheap Android phones that doesn't have that much amount of RAM. Second area that needs improvement is the backup and sync. Yes, you can backup your Pixel device to your Google account. However, sometimes you don't have an internet connection because your device has a hardware failure or you don't have an internet connection handy. So it will always be useful if you have a PC application that will allow you to backup your device, like the iTunes for iOS devices. The second issue in the backup and sync area, if you are syncing your photos using the Google Photos app and you decided to download multiple images to your device storage, the only way to achieve this is by opening each and every photo and tap the menu icon and then choose Save to Device. However, if you selected multiple images, you will not be able to do the same action for all of them at once, which is very annoying, especially if you want to do this for hundreds of photos. So I think Google needs to add this option for multiple selection, or even give us the option to save a copy of our images to the device in case if we need to. The third thing I'm looking forward to have is a widget for the Google Home app that shows all my smart devices in one place. I have here multiple third-party devices that are compatible with Google Home. Also, I have Google Home Mini and Chromecast. Sometimes I prefer to control them using the Google Home app instead of Google Assistant, especially if I'm playing music in high volumes or if I have a gathering in my house. So it's easier for me to control the devices from a widget instead of opening the Google Home app every time I need to. The fourth area that needs improvement is the photos sharing. If you decided to send the photo via email or any social app and you initiated the steps from the app itself, you will not be able to see your albums. But you can only see your camera roll. So it's going to be very hard for you to go through all your camera roll to pick the photo you want, while there is already an album that contains exactly what you are looking for, isn't it? The other area that needs a lot of improvements, in my opinion, is the look and feel of stock Android, specifically the animations. So if you compared the animations of stock Android with iOS animations, you will understand what I'm talking about. For example, the keyboard animation. It looks weird and out of sync. So if you tap the text area, you will see there is a slight delay between the app response and the keyboard sliding animation. Also, when you minimize the keyboard, you will see it fades out instead of sliding down. One more thing related to the look and feel of stock Android, if you set a colorful background on your Pixel device, you will see it looks like a mess and you cannot differentiate between the icons and the background. And the reason for that, there is no enough separation between the background and the icons. So I suggest if Google added a blurriness slider in the stock Wallpapers app, which allow you to add some blurriness to your background before setting, which will look a lot better in this case. So that's pretty much it, and of course there are a lot to talk about in this area, so please share with me in the comments your thoughts and tell me if you agree with me about the same things or there are also other things that you want to add to the wish list for stock Android Q. So thank you so much for watching. I hope you like my video, and if you do, please don't forget to hit the thumbs up and subscribe for more videos.